So I just wanted to make a quick video to talk about a comment I saw on Reddit yesterday, which was when you mess everything up and download broken code to your module, how do you revert? Well, this is kind of why I spent so much time talking about GitHub and Git and all that stuff. So yes, you can always just sort of download a working binary as Amazing Synth says here, but we can be a bit more sophisticated than that. So if we look at the Mutable dev environment, the first thing is I just want you to understand that there are actually two different repositories here. So if we look at the Mutable dev environment, we're in that repository. But if we cd into the Eurorack modules, git log, you see it's a different repository. So you've got to make sure that first thing is that you're in that repository. So let's just launch GitHub app with this, and we'll see this is the repository we're in, and here's the history. And just watch out also that, like, you can also look at Git log from inside the Vagrant box, but it's not going to know who you are inside the Vagrant box, whereas it's probably going to know who you are from outside. So just you sort of need to remember that inception thing where there's a machine within a machine, and there's also a repository that's been checked out by another repository. But assuming you're in this Eurorack repository, let's edit some code. So the way you want to work is think of master as that's the sort of factory settings, and any work you do, you want to do on your own branch, but you don't have to make that decision straight away. So you could go in, you could do this thing that I was talking about, just sort of edit the lookup tables a bit, make some more consistent kicks on the ones like that, save that, and now you can see we've got these changes that are like our branch is dirty on the master branch. The naive approach would just be to commit this straight into master, and then you've just got this long history of on master. But what you should do, the way you can do this with the GitHub desktop app, is just say, okay, I want a new branch, and this is going to be my rhythm, new patterns or whatever. Hit new branch, create branch, and then bring my changes to this new branch. And now we can say what we did, made it a bit more on the floor, and commit to our new branch. And now you can see that there's my change in the history. And then now we can easily just switch back to master at any time and just flash that code up to the module again, and then just kind of come back to our work quite easily, switch branches. Now let's say we sort of went into the grids pattern generator code and made some, I don't know, somehow added some code, monumentally broken code that somehow compiles but locks up the module. So let's say we sort of stick some horribly broken code in, and then we upload it, and we're like, oh, how do I get back to my branch? Well, the easiest way to do this with GitHub Desktop is to actually make a new branch here. So this is like my broken code. Make a new branch there. Create the branch based on your current branch, and bring the changes to new broken code. This isn't working, I don't know why, and then push that in, and then we can just switch back to like the version that works again. This isn't quite how you do it on the command line, but the easiest way to work with the code using the GitHub Desktop app is just to, every time you have a sort of meaningful version of the code, just create a new branch, and branches are pretty cheap. And then you can always just sort of select a previous version here. Another option is, in here you could still sort of like revert a commit, and that's going to create a new commit, which is like the opposite of that commit. So it is possible to sort of cherry pick the commits that you want and the ones that weren't working. But it's really important that you just keep, like, each time you finish a unit of work, just try and commit it. Just at the end of the day, when you get something working, just commit it. If it is a place that you want to bookmark and get back to easily, just create a new branch for it. And just remember that at any time you can always just switch back to master and get the factory settings and just push that onto the device.